Hello, my reflections on day 81. That was yesterday. So, what did the Tao have to say? The Tao says that we come from no thing, nothing, and we go to, and we end up being no thing. So, to live our life without accumulating stuff, things, and to live our life with virtue. What has been really relevant and very prevalent for me in this place? Can we ever live without ego? Depends how you define it. If we take it as ego as our sense of identity, our relationship with who we believe that we are, a version of ourselves, then possibly we can never live without ego, because we're always going to have a relationship with ourselves. We're always going to have a sense of identity. But to be humble and to be gentle, and simply to park that, to be able to not put on any airs and graces, just to recognise that no one actually needs to comply with our thoughts or ideas, and no one needs to have any sense of understanding, and actually we don't have to make sense, and other people don't have to make any form of sense, because when we try and make sense of things, sometimes we're looking for an explanation, we're looking to understand something, and actually it's a very low level form of control. So on a very physical way, actually to live with less and less is the acquisition of things, and the requirement of the acquisition of things, our attachment to stuff, that ultimately causes us all sorts of issues, and therefore then our need to be able to not be attached to it. So we have it but aren't attached to it, and people do all sorts of stuff to disassociate in life. Whereas the big bit that has come out for me in day 81 and all of this journey is just to be humble. It's just to be to have humility, to own your own accolades where it's important to be able to own your own accolades. But that doesn't mean to say that you're being egocentric. It just means to say that relationship with honesty. Lots of people do really good things in the world, and so will you. And to be able to own and acknowledge that you've done something that was really good today, in a practical, pragmatic and relatively straightforward way, is a really cool thing to be able to do. But that doesn't mean to say that we're being, egocentric. The other thing that really has become incredibly important to me over a number of years, and I feel is echoed in, it's really echoed in the Tao on day 81, is about servitude. To be in the service of others. How can I help you? Because that's a very clearly defined way of putting other people first, which then means that as we put other people first, it means that we're not necessarily putting ourselves second, but we're just asking, how can I show up in a way that is supportive of you and your journey? That requires courage. It also implies strength and confidence to be able to do that. But also we've got to remember in that process is there have to be some boundaries. There are way too many people that give a colossal amount of themselves, but maybe sometimes they're not always in the service of other people. Sometimes it's because of the benefit that they get. Everyone who wants to be a carer needs to find someone to care for, and sometimes those things, relationships, can become a little bit unhealthy. Whereas just to be able to go, I'm here, I'm showing up, and to not necessarily have any airs and graces around how you do that, and to be able to ask the question in a way that says, how do I show up and be the best version of myself to support you right now? So this has been a powerful thing, and I feel actually quite close to tears. I feel quite overwhelmed. The last 81 days have been amazing. They've been incredible. They've caused me to think about everything. But I shall remain as humble as I can, as aware of what I can. I wish all those people that I've listened to these videos and are yet to listen to these videos, or may actually even never come in contact with them, but I wish them all peace, love and courage and on their journey. And I will continually strive to be the best version of myself that I can be. There are three amazingly important people in my life. My fantastic son, my amazing daughter, and my completely fabulous wife. You've never been far from my thoughts in all of this journey.